Now it's time for this month's edition of Giant Tanks Podluck, featuring Nicola Scruton and Manuel Padding.
In a world where meeting like-minded goofballs for heady avant noise and free gob-slobber sessions is punishable by instantly transmissible death, experimental musicians are unable to indulge in the promiscuous audio adventures and collaboration that they've become accustomed to, and so a dearth of new weird sounds leaves pub basement patrons across the globe thirsting for their favourite real-out sonic tipples. The dreamers behind the Giant Tank label seek to end the freakdom's famine by uniting disparate lunks through the medium of unconscious overdubs and drunken prattle. If the ongoing pandemic has caused you to miss the incestuous and interchangeable in-the-flesh interscene improvisations that the No Audience Underground frequently throws up, then perhaps you're ready for...
Welcome to the 5th edition of Giant Tanks Potluck. Nicola, Manuel, Nicola, you ken us already.
We ken yous already.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Cheers! Cheers! Clang!
Cheers!
Clang. I met Manuel Padding in 2007 when he was organising shows under the Hellbard banner. He has...
Shorts on?
He did have shorts on and flip-flops. He still has shorts on and flip-flops. Nicola Scruton is an artist based in Glasgow. Nick is an artist working in multiple disciplines, and since 2018 I have played with Nick in the Sonic Bothy Ensemble.
Manuel, lovely to meet you, by the way. Tell us something about bowling. Make it philosophical and or make it inspirational.
I don't know. I'm also not saying I'm good at bowling. I just really like doing it. But yeah, the thing about bowling is also like, I think a lot of people don't realize what a technical sport it is. Because when you go on a birthday party, it's just throwing a ball. When you play like the sport bowling, they put oil on the lane. It's like a pattern of it's to protect the lane, but it's also like there's difficulty to it. So there's like short patterns, long patterns, difficult patterns, easy patterns. Then you have an assortment of balls that have different characteristics. There's a weight block that's a certain shape, the cover stock that reacts different to the lane, and you have to respond to the surface and to the conditions that change because you're throwing stuff over it. But you can't see it. It's invisible. You don't see the oil. So it's
intriguing.
So that's like the...
Is this philosophical?
Yeah, and like,
I
like,
find that quite fascinating in a way, just the actual, I could see how that could become quite compulsive to because you can only really learn, well, like anything really, but, by doing, but at the same time, it's going to be changing all the time anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, like, and I feel like with every sport, music, the same thing. Is like, first you do it without thinking and it's like free and just everything is like, wow. And then the next time you want to repeat it but then you realize you're thinking about it and then it doesn't work at all. And then it's like, what's going on? But then if you do that like enough times, you get comfortable with it again. And then you know what you're doing and you can actually, so it's always like this movement. Which, that's like, I don't know, life also. But it's also physical. So it's physicality also, because you have to throw this ball. So you have to do these yeah, athletic. The more power you put into it, the more, but you need to be relaxed about it. You can't force it. So it's not just like, yeah, it's not just like this knowledge, but it's also the physicality and the technique, and yeah, like the Zen thing about it is like you need to be able to do the technique without thinking. And I think that, yeah, I think with with music, with improvised music, in the moment, it's the same thing. It's like you need to be totally like loose, but you need to be on it. Nicola, tell us something about the voice. Make it life affirming, and or make a shock it to the core.
Well, look at this segue into you talking about voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was with Alex, and we'd been doing a project for a couple of years called Rough Breathing. So, and Alex is a clarinetist amongst other things. So we were primarily doing clarinet and voice. Yeah, but I mean, I suppose the breath for me underpins everything to do with the voice, really. Well, to do with the voice and possibly to do with life. Well, given that we do need to breathe. But in terms of well-being, sometimes there is a focus on like the taking air in, but actually it's you've got to get the air out, as well. But breathing processes and breathing practices, I suppose, just because I've been doing that through sort of yoga training and stuff. So I've been doing quite a bit of that, and I love it. And I suppose the thing is that all the things that you do all feed in, don't they, to the stuff that you're doing, because of my interest in the voice work and the breath, and the impact on the body and all that. Then I do sort of think about that a lot, and I do quite a lot of breathing practices, and the thing of coming to still and just be noticing your breath. Just even that is massive. It's just massive, to just sort of calm the energy a wee bit, But then you can also do practices where you're doing maybe set kinds of breathing, little structured breathing exercises or whatever. That just. But I suppose the thing is, it's like you're trying. Sometimes you get into a pattern where you are continuing to in breath. But you're not. You can't just keep filling up.
Yeah, you need out.
You do need the out.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens. So you get up into your chest, and then it's a fast, shallow thing, and you need to.
Yeah.
It's
you
like
need to do it.
I think it's everything. I just was thinking there. Yeah, I've always sort of been into making it audible. For it being audible as a part of anything, or as a part of the voice work. I sort of work expressively, but I'm not doing it to be expressive, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's more the sort of sonorous things around that, but then it's also open. It has an interpretation because it's the voice, and there's a presence in that, and there's an identity in that, and I'm really interested in all that.
I think I'm basically saying I like the sound of my own voice, but I'm not saying that.
That is
I'm not surprised by this.
totally shocked by that.
But
just put ASMR in all your videos, and then
I mean,
But
sounds like
decent manicure.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That's it. Yeah, you could be raking it in.
Manuel, what are the current restrictions in your locale? How have these affected you? And how are you bearing up under said restrictions in both mind and body?
so the thing is, like, everything was getting slowly very loose. I mean, bars are open, no more masks, only in public transportation.
Not in the bar.
Not in the bar, no
What
mask.
about when you go to the toilet?
Nope. So no mask, but you have to keep the 1.5 meters. Only masks in like hospitals and public transportation.
Not in the
Like
supermarket.
supermarkets, no mask, man. No.
Oh wow.
All right. Wow.
Don't fancy
So,
that
yeah.
much.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. How do you feel about that? How's that for
it's
you?
super weird. Super weird. But also, I feel like the Netherlands has been super loose the whole time.
Yeah,
Like,
you told us that.
like people bitching about masks when they don't even have to wear one. Like, yeah, ugh. I had a few people come over to my place, and I would go over there. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
And then you guys were like, "Oh no! Like, what did you call me again? Like
A super spreader.
super spreader." Yeah,
Just because we're jealous, because we've been in lockdowns for so long now.
Yeah, you went to Belgium and we were like,
Okay, but
what?
this is the okay. So so now it sounds like I am a super spreader, but I visited one friend in Tilburg who lives really close to Belgium, and then it's actually a city which is half in Belgium, half in the Netherlands. So we went on a half hour, like not even a half hour, like a 10-minute car ride. Went to this beer store that's so amazing. It's like a supermarket with only beer, like so many, and it's super cheap also because I think
Beer
Belgium has
train
like
spotter
lower.
has to go there.
It was just we loaded so much beer that the car was like this. But yeah, totally worth it.
Wow.
But it
Whereas
also
I
feels
was
like
at
super
the
exciting.
absolute. Yeah.
It's so exciting to do this, this one thing. So we went over the border, we bought beer, we went back. It's like, you feel like a smuggler or something, like this one thing. It's like the highlight of
Big
the month.
adventure. Yeah.
An adventure, yeah. So you go back home and then you're stuck in the,
Did you read about the kids? The kids that are like gaming the system. They've figured out that you can like get a false positive result on a test if you use lemon juice. So
I did read
they
something about
get
that,
sent
yeah.
home. Their whole class gets told, "Oh, no school for 10 days." So they're like a hero.
yeah.
When life gives you lemons, phone in sick.
Look, I got out for an afternoon up to the CCA to do a wee broadcast thing. And but it was just like you're in that room. It's all it's all cleaned down, and then after it's lockdowns happening at 6:00, and our thing was on from 5 to 6. And they had the lights off, and in the venue and everything, and you were just out into the street, and it was just desolate. Just really bizarre thing.
How's Sonic Buffy going? Are you guys doing it?
Really quite quickly, Sonic Buffy managed to adapt to doing rehearsals online, hosting sessions with folks in their own homes via the internet. So yeah, it's been great.
Like, I obviously don't hear it all because you're in a different room, but I hear bits, and the kind of like hearing the laughter, and then also seeing like what you have produced in lockdown in a really difficult situation. Support, like, that must have been a really a lifeline for some people, and fun. And I love that the captioner loves it as well.
Some of us, our hearing's not so good, so it's actually improvising, reacting to the text on the screen rather than what's coming through the headphones, and yet it still works. It's been great. I want captioning in real life.
Funny, eh?
Mechala, what would you have the loyal punters of TUSK TV ken about you, your life, your work, and or your feelings? Is there something you would like them to do with this information?
And I'm really interested in that sort of idea of, what's in the body, what do we remember, and how do we remember, and that all our experiences sort of in our ken, if you like, if you know that term, in our ken, in our being, and that some of it we can access, some of it we can't, some of it we don't want to, some of there's all different sort of psychological and emotional layers in there. In conclusion,
regarding our Potluck collaborative piece for
TUSK editions.
In our piece that I listened to today for the first time, because I think my thing is like also really sort of set, like it's like really continuous and like really sort of like one whole piece, and then you are way more like in there, out there, like loud and soft. And I thought that really worked nicely together. Felt like I was like really left and right, and you were really like in the middle of it. Like
they are quite integrated in a way, even although they're separate. If you can sort of hear there's different sound worlds, if you like. So you can hear those layers, but they're quite integrated in a way. It's quite there's definite there's moments in it, and also the character of each, there's, it kind of does work. Some hear like my bow and like
the beginning is like you hit it, I had like this looped wind on a tape, and then you were breathing. I was like it's like breath, voice, let's set the mood, and then it just, it totally felt really organic, like really felt like it fit together really well. Like in a mix,
did almost feel like it was together, that we were doing it at the same time,
totally.
Didn't it? Like it was like a live thing almost. Music.
Yeah, there was definitely like some reaction to in the sound, like we were listening to each other.
I mean, all the way through it, I was sort of thinking it's almost like you're waiting for the point where you go, oh, okay, and that didn't come. It just felt like you used the word organic, but it did feel like we were listening to each other. And
green, soft cubes in the ocean.
Say again?
Hey, Nick, Manuel, do you guys think you might work together in the future?
Yeah, I would love to.
And I would say, yes!
Yes! Yes!
Come on!
We love it when there's a. We love it when it works out.
Yeah!
If you don't like high fives, don't go bowling.
That's nothing.
There's no Daffy Duck in bowling, man. Please.
Please.
Please.